What's going on, guys? I wanted to hop back on super quick. It's been a minute since I've come on and talk just about some of the aspects of being harassed and targeted and in this manner. Um, I wanted to focus a little bit on some of the things that I've talked about in my videos that I feel like have been kind of ignored by the audience, which is the gassing, the street sweeper, and the gassing. Um, for me, that has gone on for about 3 years. It started when I was living in the Midwest and I was still living in my car. And I basically caught on to how they were sedating me through the more easier, more obvious ways. Obviously, your food and your drinks and the regular household materials that you have where you live. And when I caught on to that and began taking my things with me and like carrying a backpack and you know purchasing my food at the time of me eating it and things like that, they became very desperate to get this sedative into my body. And when I got really smart to what they were doing, they began using a street sweeper. I mean, an overt, just out of control method to gas you. And I came across a story about these two women whose sisters who lived together, and they lived in Germany, someplace in Germany, and they were being gassed and raped. These men that were military would literally come to their home, surround it, and throw gas like a sedative into their window violently and come in and violate them. And I remember thinking that that was like such a horrible, crazy, scenario. Because, at that situation, like, how do you protect yourself other than preparing for death? You know what I mean? Preparing to take these people out and being prepared to be taken out, through a battle. And then I started doing some research about some of the things that's going on here in the States. And more recently, upon doing some research, I've discovered that they are using this sedative gassing method on a lot of different people, on a lot of people in public places. I was going through some sources that I feel very comfortable saying that these are legitimate sources, and they were confirming that, there are certain public transportations that are involved in gassing people while they're on that particular public transportation and raping and violating them as a part of the sex trafficking process. But it's not just about sex trafficking, it's about creating moles and also creating soldiers and creating slaves and through MK Ultra. This is widespread. This is a universal thing where they do these things in large groups, in large crowds, almost kind of like the Travis Scott concert. I think it's Travis Scott, where people were in an abundance being attacked with these mechanisms because they were in this one large place. I remember when I was in the Midwest, I experienced a lot of really strange and outrageous things pertaining to sedatives, how they were trying to get this sedative into my body so they could attack me. I went from going into a hotel and there being a light fixture that was an actual timer, almost like one of those Glade spritzers that they use in the restrooms, where the gas just spritzed out at a certain time when you walk through. This is how they were assaulting me at one point in time when I was going into a hotel room I was staying in, and couldn't figure it out. How in the hell, out of all the meticulous safety measures I was taking, how are they getting this sedative in my body? Because I would never think that they would go that far. And I was actually being assaulted when I would go into a library. This is genuinely happening. It happened to me. I was going into a library to sometimes take a nap, and I was being sedated when I walked through the door and raped while I was there. In the middle of the day. In the middle of a day. You go into these crowded places, you think you're safe because there's other people around, and you don't realize that you are surrounded by people who are, one, under hypnosis. So someone who is a practitioner comes in and says a key word and everyone's just in a trance, and the people that are participating are just actively raping and violating you. This is what's happening and what is going on. This is very, very serious. It's very serious. And it's imperative that people start waking up and understanding that the things that are being said with these street sweepers and these timed gas set-offs, this is not someone that's lost their mind, or this is some, isolated situation for one person. This is going on all over the world. The difference is that some people just aren't acute enough to pick up on it, and they're just bewildered as to how this happened or what happened. All of a sudden I felt fainted and I passed out, and I woke up and I think I was raped, but I can't prove it, so I'm not going to say anything. It's gotten to a point where we've got to start being more vocally active, because this is happening. And you have people who used to be a part of these espionages and a part of these groups who are confirming that this sort of thing is happening. And it's been happening for a very long time. So anyway, I just wanted to jump on and talk about that because I had some confirmation from someone who used to work in this particular area, and knows a lot about the secret societies and the Freemasons and people who participate in these sort of things, and that this is a worldwide, global problem. And it's an everyday thing, just like getting up and going to work. And if it's been like that for the last 50 years, can you imagine what we're about to step into? Anyway, just wanted to say that and bring it to somebody who's got a brain still attention.